We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas in Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Dallas Cowboys. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down. A tackle for loss there. 2 last week. He's tough to handle coming off the edge.
And when you talk about a defensive end, your first thought is, how does he rush the passer? That's where he makes his big plays getting into the backfield. But the best ones can play the run as well. And that's what we're seeing from him, that excellent combination of holding the point of attack and also getting upfield to make plays in the backfield.
Prescott now on second down. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Back near his goal line, it's Prescott. He finds his target, Fuller. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Swing to the field, right. To the right.
Second down, Prescott. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. The give is to Elliott. A strong running. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Good. Here we go. Wide eight.
A second down throw for Prescott. Going for the deep, and this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 22, and his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 21.
12. Gun. Wait. 25 to nine.
After the interception, here's Ryan. His throw incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
21.
Second and 10, it's Ryan again. And he fires one that's intercepted. Zach Cunningham with a pick.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And now here come the Cowboys. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, start off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up second down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. To throw is Prescott. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
Here we go. Wide eight.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
And that's called winning at the point of attack, isn't it? Right there at the line of scrimmage. I know he's a little bummed out now. He doesn't get credit for a tackle for a loss, but no gain, his guys will take that.
And speaking of winning, to be as cheesy as we can, he was the winner of the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award from last week, so he's really stringing together some good football.
So not only did he get a gold star, he might have gotten a gold watch too, huh?
Switch is 8. Here we go, 46. Here you go. 26.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10.
Here we go. Wide eight. switching, hey.
Prescott from the gun. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And this one is right through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll make this a second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Got a man. It's Brashad Perriman. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Hey, Tuesday. 54, south.
They'll throw on first down with Ryan. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan. Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. To throw again is Ryan. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Good. 46. 26.
Looking to throw. Prescott. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Prescott now. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2 as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he will find Ridley on the left side. Give him 30 yards there. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. But they also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. Takes 2 to tango. Throwing now. Ryan on 1st down. Going underneath. It's Coleman. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the 1st.
Tuesday.
Again, Ryan. Look over the middle, and he's got Perriman. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
21.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Now Ryan on second down. Drops it off for Coleman. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Coleman on the toss. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll toss it to Coleman. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Let's go.
On third down, it's Grant. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Let's go.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Check 31, check 31. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. They make a good bit of that yardage back as they're set up in much better shape now for 2nd and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
He's going to get it running right, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. They call that a loss of 6 yards, and it's 3rd down now. Remain here in the first half. We're back to Arlington right after this timeout. This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. From the gun, it's Ryan. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Vic Beasley able to make the tackle. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry. On second down, Elliott. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Fuller. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Prescott now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here.
Take 4, take 4. Switch,
Throwing, Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. A second down throw for Prescott. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The Cowboys on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Gun. We're going to get that. Let's go. Get out. 26.
They'll throw again. Prescott. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Prescott on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And again, it's Prescott. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 6 yards on the pickup. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Here we go, 46. Gun. Gun. Let's go deep. 26.
Here's Prescott. Drops it underneath to Elliott. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10.
11.
From the shotgun, Ryan. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, express. Left.
To throw again, Ryan. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
21. 54 south.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Let's go.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And a nice spin into some open field. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
This is 3rd and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. Now Ryan. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Tenth carry now for Elliott. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the 2nd level.
There we go, kill. Good. 41's the will.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He sets to fire deep. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
Tuesday. Space.
After the interception, here's Ryan. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. The 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Marquise Goodwin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons turn that interception into a touchdown.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
Now McManus for the extra point. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Prescott now on 2nd down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Again to Elliott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Gun. Here we go, 46. 26.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
Gun.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. They were looking for Marshall that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Gun. Switch, hey. Here we go, 46. Gun. 26.
On 2nd down, Prescott again. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a 1st.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
21.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Back now in Arlington. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th.
Gun. Hey, Tuesday. Gun.
On 2nd down, Ryan. This will be caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Well, I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. He's going to get it running right. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Coleman. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. They won on 2 fronts there, so to speak, Charles. Not only they stop him short of the first, they get him out of bounds and stop the clock.
Yeah, they won. The offensive guys lost because they wanted to stay in bounds and have that clock run or force you to use timeouts. Instead, the defense won, as you mentioned, on both fronts.
And McManus able to put it through. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3. Here we go, 46. Gun. 26.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's got Fuller. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Now Prescott. And an alley to run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play here for the Cowboys. 43 yards. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. They stop him up short on 4th and goal from the 1. And the Falcons able to muster together a goal line stand. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
22!
They begin the drive with Coleman. And now running right through it. And all the way up to the 49. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 48 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Freeman again. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Gun! Right! 21!
3rd and long. It's Ryan. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. They needed 17, and they got 18. A defensive lapse there, and it's a first down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he stopped immediately there. And credit the tackle to Taco Charlton with a stop. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Hey, let's go.
Ryan heads down to a knee, and that should wrap this one up.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Falcons, it's another win for them, and you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Meanwhile, for Dallas, it's a bad time of year to take a loss like this as they drop to 10-5. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL.